Welcome to Juan Cardenas, staff economist at El Paso Electric, conducting research, conducting load forecasting, and also doing some forecasting for the general area. Juan, welcome. Thank you for speaking with us. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Hi, Cynthia. Good morning. And first of all, thank you for having me here. A little bit background about me. I was born in El Paso, raised in Juarez. I graduated from the Prepa Tech, which is a high school under the system of the Monterrey Institute of Technology. So it's bilingual, the system, the classes. After that, I went to UTEP to study for the business administration, my bachelor in business administration. And after that, I did the Master of Science in Economics with Dr. Fullerton.
Great. And so what were some of the challenges you had as you were moving from transitioning from tech to UTEP? What challenges did you face and how did you overcome those?
Yeah, that was an interesting experience. So first of all, of course, English is my second language. So although my high school was bilingual, I was taking math classes, physics or whatever in English. When I started my first and second semester at UTEP, I felt that my level wasn't as good as I would like it. In other words, I was having some issues in order to take full advantage of the faculty, what the knowledge have, because I wasn't understanding all, or I wasn't able to express myself as I wanted, like in my first language. So for me, the first challenge was, of course, improving English. After that, I think coming from the system in Mexico, when I was already taking some classes that were specifically to the area that I was interested in, like economics. No, for example, I remember I had a class in this, like sociology and politics in economics, which was basically like in introductory class for economics. But when I went to UTEP, during my first and second semester, I was taking like very basic classes, like astronomy or things that at that moment I was feeling like, why am I taking these classes? This is not related to what I want. But in retrospective, I think now, after graduating and everything, every single class helped me to learn how I learn, not only about the subject matter like astronomy or chemistry, but like it was a process of learning how do I learn. So in comparison to the Mexican model, I think it was a benefit for me to have both, like a different approach, a different learning experience, I guess.
Okay, so you think that having more of a more holistic approach in your studies helped you out, even if the subject wasn't economics? Did it help you think better, or taught you how to learn, but also helped you expand your thought processes?
That's the point. Yes. For example, at that moment, I felt like, why am I interested in learning about the stars? Like or politics 1 or 2 because it's from the US, it's different from Mexico. But in retrospective, the subject matter is interesting because you know details about things like policies that then are gonna be related to economics. Like at that moment I didn't know, but now like you do the economic analysis, which will help you to take a decision regarding a specific policy, like taxes or whatever. That's one thing that I learned. I didn't know that back 10 years ago or 15, So I think that's great when you when you take a look of the big picture, as you mentioned, like a more holistic approach, it gives you more tools, which in the future you will use, not at the moment, but in the future will be useful for you. So that's what I benefit from, yeah.
So I know that students benefit a lot when they have good social sciences background, political science, math as their base, and that helps them in economics. And this is a little bit off topic, but what area did you think helped you the most that was not economics?
I think those classes related to sociology, yes, like that example that I gave you. Because, for example, in math, I already have a high level, that's like, I think, advanced in the Mexican system. But on the other hand, everything else is like not as important, like it's not taken really seriously, but it is important. So that was like a kind of a change for me.
Okay, well, that's interesting. Now, let me ask you, at what moment did you specifically, I mean, did you have an aha moment where you decided, oh, I want to be an economist? Do you have any type of recollection of the moment you decided that you wanted to go into economics?
So I remember I was always thinking about going into business, like business administration, because I have the influence of my family, my family business. So I was influenced by my uncle. He always talked about the business and this and that. So I already knew I wanted something related to that area, specifically with economics. So I was looking for something that will help me with those areas like business, administration, how to do analysis. And then I was very interested in the relationship between our border city like El Paso, Juarez, and Las Cruces, because I always was looking into the differences, the contrast, and I always wondered like why is such a big difference when we are so close together? Like you just cross the border, and it seems like it is a different country, but you have a different currency. How does that affect like the lifestyle and the level of the quality of life that you get on one side of the border versus the other one? So those were like the interests that I had, plus the areas that I was targeting for like I needed to fulfill those areas for me to feel like I will be able to successfully achieve what I wanted. That's the main reason. Yeah.
Right, and we live right in a microcosm of border economics and international trade that a lot of times we don't even realize that here in El Paso, Las Cruces, Juarez, unless we open our eyes and start looking, we don't even realize that we have all this going on right in our own community. So just briefly, can you tell me, just speak briefly about what your tasks are, what your work is at the electric company? Just like a little sentence so students know, well, what do you do once you get an economics degree and get a job?
So what I'm doing right now is basically we have like the economic research department have like three main areas that we have to fulfill. First, we do law studies. So that's basically like analyzing how different jurisdictions or classes, like for example, in this case, we serve New Mexico and we serve Texas, how the consumption of energy is different in Texas than in New Mexico, or by class level, like residential versus industrial or commercial. So we do those type of analysis. In addition to that, we also do, or we support other areas. We are assigned to specific tasks, but we support as a team in different areas. So for example, I'm not in charge of forecasting, but I do help in that. So for example, I do forecast for demand. In addition to demand, we also forecast energy sales, but I'm not in charge of that. And the third portion is like, every time we have like an economic topic that we need to explain to the rest of the company, like for example, right now, electric vehicles, how EVs will affect the consumption, no? Like for us, how do we prepare for that transition? We do some analysis in that area. In that part, I only support, for example, there's a person assigned to that topic specifically, but maybe we have other topics like Permian Basin here nearby El Paso, how does that affect consumption? Those type of analysis is what we do.
Okay, so a lot of data collection, on the ground research, trying to find out what's going on. Now, our student population at El Paso Community College is very diverse. We have early college high school students, traditional and non-traditional students. We have military veterans coming back to school. We have just a big diversity of students. And I would like for you to share some words of wisdom to help them on their journey in their education.
So I think based on my personal experience, if you are listening to this, you already have interest in economics probably. So you're already on the good side, The main objective for me all the time was to do something that I enjoy, that I like, that I'm passionate about, and that will give me the chance to evolve as a professional, like continue improving, get a job and get opportunity to grow within that job, and while I enjoy what I'm doing. And that's exactly what I found. So on that regard, I'm very satisfied. And if you are like me, doing kind of the same, you will be fine, that you will get a job, you will be satisfied. So if you enjoy economics, I think that's what you have to do. You know, it's a great profession, and it's very satisfying for me to do it. I enjoy it. So that's what I will say for anyone involved in this or interested. Yeah.
Oh, those are great words of advice. Do what you love.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I want to thank you so much for taking time with us and sharing your experience and your knowledge. We really appreciate it. And again, Mr. Cardenas, thank you so much.
Thank you, Cynthia. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. You too.